God bless this day, and thanks for joining on the podcast today. This is Ray Martinez. Our reading today is from Romans chapter 15, verses 2 through 4. And we're going to talk about being an encourager. Remember, I talked about the 4 rare things that leaders often forget, R-A-R-E. And that's being responsible, accountable, relational, and an encourager. We're on the last letter of that word. And we read in Romans 15, verses 2 through 4, it says, "We should help others do what is right and build them up in the Lord. For even Christ didn't live to please himself. As the scriptures say, the insults of those who insult you, O God, have fallen on me. Such things were written in the scriptures long ago to teach us, and the scriptures give us hope and encouragement as we will patiently wait for God's promises to be fulfilled." Encouragement is something we all need to keep us motivated, loved, and feel confident in ourselves and what we do. It's something that is important for our mental and overall health, and it truly can give us just the same amount of joy to give it to others as it is to receive it. We all know what we can feel like to pursue something, whether it's to starting our new job or trying a new creative hobby or trying to make small changes in our life and not get any feedback or encouragement. The lack of encouragement makes a person want to quit, and it can feel hard to stick with your goals. The same way with employees. If you don't encourage them, are they going to feel worthy? Because God created us and He knows this about our personalities, He has provided countless verses in the Bible to not only encourage us, but also to teach us the importance of lifting up those around us. If you read the scriptures closely, you'll notice that all of them really do encourage us. When I think of encouragement, in the same breath, I think of what encouragement causes. It's building relationships. It's strengthening companionship. It causes us to pray for others. Don't we like to say that to others? I'll pray for you. That's encouraging. And it creates communion with others. I think it makes us more courageous. Within the word of encouragement is the word courage. Hope comes to mind when I think of encouragement. Encouraging others gives them a sense of hope that they are doing things right and that people see them as improving, being successful, or a chance for a brighter future. To encourage others is one of the hardest tasks most people have. We like to receive encouragement, but are we not the best at ministering to others this kind of encouragement? We have a tough time with it. If we look at Philippians chapter 2, verses 1 through 2, Paul asks 4 questions. And he says this: "Is there any encouragement from belonging to Christ? Any comfort from His love? Any fellowship together in the Spirit? Are your hearts tender and compassionate?" That's a great verse, just in verse 1. In verse 2, he says, "Then make me truly happy by agreeing wholeheartedly with each other, loving one another, and working together with one mind and purpose." Paul was sharing about having the attitude of Christ. He wanted the people to be in agreement with each other, love each other, and work together for the cause. He doesn't want division, which causes divisiveness. If we look at 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 30 through 31, in this verse, Paul talks about having order in the church meetings. And he says, "But if someone is prophesying and another person receives a revelation from the Lord, the one who is speaking must stop. In this way, all who prophesy will have a turn to speak, one after the other, so that everyone will learn and be encouraged." Isn't that great? You can be encouraged if you can hear what people are saying. Have you ever had anyone interrupt you when you're speaking, or watch others who have a habit of interrupting? Paul emphasizes not only taking turns, but he says having a sense of order. but that the net result is that each of us will learn more and consequently encourage each other. You know, I have some great Italian friends that they're family, and it's a big family. And when they have get-togethers of some sort or another, whether it's holidays or just a birthday or just getting together for dinner, when their family gets together, I swear that everyone is talking at once. There are so many conversations going on, it's hard to figure out which one I want to get involved in. Nevertheless, it's always fun to be around them because they are so animated, loving, and caring for each other. They are truly family. When I look back at my own family reunions years back, we were much the same way. Everyone talked at once. And we weren't sure what we were getting out of what anybody was saying. Jesus was always an encourager. He encouraged people constantly. He encouraged others while they were being healed. He complimented people for their faith. Remember when Jesus made the statement about the Roman officer to his followers? I tell you the truth, I haven't seen faith like this in all of Israel. That's in Matthew 8:10. This is what Jesus tells them. Then Jesus turned to the Roman officer and said, go back home because you believe it has happened. Jesus healed the paralyzed servant of the Roman officer. Wow, because he believed, but he encouraged them. He encouraged the people through what he said. I've never seen faith like this. The whole event was encouraging to the people who were listening, to the Roman officer, and I'm sure to the paralyzed servant. Can you imagine how that word and story spread to everyone around them? Family, friends, and to the curious skeptics? That word reached fast, and it became very encouraging. When Jesus spoke to the woman that was being accused of adultery, he wrote in the sand, and all of his other accusers left. Jesus asked her, where are your accusers? They weren't around, were they? When you look at John chapter 8, verses 10 through 11, it says, Then Jesus stood up again and said to the woman, Where are your accusers? Didn't even one of them condemn you? No, Lord, she said. And Jesus said, Neither do I. Go and sin no more. That was powerful. Jesus was so encouraging to this woman. He basically was conveying to this woman, you are much better than that. You don't need to live this kind of life. Just leave and change your life for the better. That was an encouraging statement. And don't you know she probably did? When we look at Hebrews 10, verses 24 through 25, and it says, And let us consider how we may spur one another on towards love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching. And he's talking about the big day. Look at Romans 8:31. What then shall we say in response to these things? If God is for us, who can be against us? Now, how encouraging is that? If God's not against us, then, and if you're against me and I'm for God, then woe on you, because God is on my side. If we look at 1 Thessalonians 5:11, it says, Therefore encourage one another and build each other up, just as in fact you are doing. Romans 1, verses 11 through 12 says, For I long to visit you so I can bring you some spiritual gift that will help you grow strong in the Lord. When we get together, I want to encourage you in your faith, but I also want to be encouraged by yours. See, Paul wants encouragement just as much as the next person. In 1 Timothy 4, verses 12 through 13, Paul's teaching here. He tells Timothy, Don't let anyone think less of you because you are young. Be an example to all believers in what you say and in the way you live and in your love, your faith, and your purity. Until I get there, focus on reading the scriptures to the church, encouraging the believers, and teaching them. Paul was encouraging Timothy when he said not to let this criticism of him being young get into his head. Quit thinking about that and focus on encouraging others and teaching them through the reading of the scriptures. I encourage all of you not to let people get the best of you, but find the best in them, encouraging them so that you may be encouraged. You will be a stronger person. What doesn't destroy you will make you stronger. When you're going through a storm, keep going because there is a calm at the other side. Sometimes the obstacles in our life won't change, but maybe what needs to change is us. If we change the way we look at things, the things we look at will change. I'll leave you with this last verse to ponder about. Joshua 1, verse 9. This is my command. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. God bless you now and forever.